Right, hey everyone. Thanks for joining in on this. This is the 200 subscriber special UMK3 tier list from a casual's perspective. Something that I've always wanted to do, especially since Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is coming out so soon. And I thought, yeah, why not? Let's get something made out for the hitting 200 subscribers on my channel. I actually just recently hit 250 actually, so halfway through to my target, which is 500, and potentially we'll do a 500 sub special sometime along the line. But yeah, thank you all to everyone who actually voted on my recent poll for what you'd like to see, and the tier list was by far the most popular, with over 50% of the vote. There was quite a few people who also voted for a face reveal. That might come on the 500 sub special, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for joining in. But yeah, let's do a 200 sub special UMK3 tier list from a casual player's perspective. So most of you who have already subbed to my channel or know about me, I only recently started playing UMK3 probably about March this year, so probably about 5 months ago. I used to play Mortal Kombat many years ago, on arcade, after school, or at friends' houses on their consoles. I actually never owned UMK3 or MK3 for that matter. I grew up playing Mortal Kombat 2 as a very young kid, and yeah, stopped playing Mortal Kombat probably shortly after it came out on console. Used to play in the arcades a bit when it was around, but then shortly after that I probably didn't touch it for many years. I actually picked up the last version I played before playing on Fightcade was the arcade collection on the Xbox 360, but I never played online. So I thought, you know what, getting back onto UMK3 was something for me that I always wanted to do. I loved watching YouTube fights, a couple of friends playing online. That was always good fun. And yeah, obviously there was a couple of YouTubers who got me into it. But yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, is talking about my perspective from a UMK3 tier list, like who I think is top of the tree to bottom, what characters I use, the ones that obviously I main quite regularly, and I'll talk through a bit about that. But probably the most important thing about this video is yeah, talking about it from like a perspective that's I'm not a high level player. I'm not a professional player by any stretch of means. I'm a casual gamer. This is not my full-time hobby, but I enjoy playing the game, and I've really enjoyed playing over the last 5 or 6 months or so since I started playing online. Learn a lot, and there's a lot of fantastic fighters that are online who have greatly helped me get better at the game too. So I want to send out a few thanks to those people: Goku Ren, Random Select Please, Bay Blizzard, Nico Arc, Grim423, No Doubt, Not Random, Samito777 or Sammy. He's been a long-term friend on playing Mortal Kombat. So massive shout out to him. And there's probably many more of you. Barbed Wire, we play a lot. He's a New Zealand fighter. Yeah, but anyway, massive thanks to all of you guys for helping me get better at the game. But I wanted to go through, talk tier list, where I think the characters are at. And we'll see what happens with Legacy Collection when that comes out, very soon. It looks like it's going to be released potentially at the end of September, so probably about a month's time. And we might revisit this tier list again, depending on what that game does and if it feels any different. I suspect it'll probably be unchanged. It depends, obviously, on like the connectivity online and how that feels. But I'll talk about what it is for me now playing on Fightcade, which is the 1.2 revision, and go from there. So without further ado, we'll go through and talk through S tier all the way through to D tier. I'm not going to go make any other levels outside of that. And obviously we'll just talk about what I feel about those characters and why I put them in those certain ranks. There's probably going to be some controversy here, undoubtedly. I said this is my opinion. I'm not a pro player. I'm a casual gamer. I didn't play this game a lot, but I have been playing it a bit lately, and I'm having a lot of fun. So feel free to comment. Feel free to challenge my logic and give me your opinions too. If I've made any mistakes that you feel warrant comment, I'm all for it. So we'll start at the top and work our way down, and then I'll talk through the characters that I use and why I use those characters, and I'll do that as I rank them. So this is where there's probably going to be a bit of division around who is an S tier character. I believe there's 3 clear S tier ranked fighters characters in the game, which I personally believe is Cabal, Human Smoke, and Ermac. I think those 3 are the top 3 characters in the game. Now, which way you put them is open for debate, and some people would argue that Human Smoke now is potentially the top character in the game. I'm not a Human Smoke player. I've actually never played Human Smoke before. Reasons? I don't know. I've traditionally played mid to lower tier characters, not just from the challenge perspective, but I actually like sometimes playing with the underdog, and getting a big win, using someone who's maybe not so good. And I'll talk more about some of the characters that I use shortly. But if I look at top tier, there's arguably those 3 that are the best. And my humble opinion, I do still think Cabal is the best character in the game. Now, again, some people would say, nah, Human Smoke is definitely top tier now. And there's some reasons for that in Fightcade. There's a few people who say that the Cabal's instant fireball doesn't actually work as well on Fightcade versus potentially an arcade or other versions. Now, I use Cabal sometimes when I'm playing, like, for example, as Shang Tsung. I'm not very good at Cabal. I don't know why, but I've just never really been good at playing him. I probably should practice a bit more, to be honest, but when I was younger playing MK3, so the original vanilla version of MK3, I used to use Cabal quite regularly. I thought he was a fun character. He was very, very, very powerful in the MK3 vanilla version as well. He was heavily nerfed for this version of the game. But yeah, I think he's definitely top tier. Reasons, his dash, or his dash run spin thing is incredibly powerful. We've heard that there's going to be some additions to him in the WaveNet version in Legacy Collection. Apparently there's going to be a sound being made when you activate his spin. But we'll see how that goes on the WaveNet edition, if there is some online capability with that. But yeah, I think he's the best character in the game personally. Obviously, a lot of top tier players use him, and to great effect as well. Even though he was drastically nerfed for UMK3, I think all of his main combos had a 10% damage reduction. So like a standing 7-hit combo, I think it's like 15% damage, where it used to be like 25. But now, even with that massive reduction and nerfing, he can still pull off 50+% combos with ease. And for that reason alone, I think he's still the best in the game, even though he has been nerfed. So a very close second, I think, is definitely Human Smoke. Now, Human Smoke, again, I've never used him. I've played against plenty of people who use him, and he is amazing. I've promised myself I will start practicing with him once Legacy Collection comes out, because I'm going to need it to hang with the top guys. But yeah, his ability to teleport, his spear, his speed, his combo potential is just astronomical. His air throw is obviously very powerful as well. He's basically Scorpion, as most people would know, but he's faster. He's got better combos. He's got a launcher. He can relaunch some people as well, some characters. So that's incredibly important. Yeah, I think he's arguably 1 or 2, a very close second in my view, and one of the best in the game. So third is Ermac. Now, I'm also not a big Ermac player. I've tried playing with him, and I've worked out like his main launching teleport combo to telekinesis. But I was practicing so much in the Cup edition of on Fightcade, and my thumb was just absolutely destroyed from doing his telekinesis over and over and over again. And I haven't been back, so I probably should do that because Ermac is a fantastic character, one of the best in the game, and can be used to absolute devastation. 70% combos, and is the reason why most top players use him. His punish is just incredible. Yeah, great fighter, a great character in the game, and I look forward to start using him, probably more often as well. So probably him and Human Smoke are going to be my two main I'm going to start using for Legacy Collection. So now we're going to move into A tier. Now, some people will probably disagree with this, and I'm happy for people to comment on it. I do still think Nightwolf is, arguably the fourth best character in the game. I love Nightwolf. I think he's a fantastic character. He's one I use quite regularly. I'm not very good with Nightwolf. I'm still obviously learning him. I'm still learning his rushdown. But he's, again, one of the reasons why top players use him. His punish is just astronomical. His rushdown is his greatest strength. I've seen, crazy good combos with Nightwolf and his axe juggles. I'm still trying to learn his 3-axe juggle. There's a few people who have helped me, work out how to do that. So thanks to all those guys who've sent me that. I'm still training that at the moment. But definitely enjoy using him. Easy to do a 40+% combo with relative ease. He's not a hard character to use as well, which is a good thing. Like his main combo is straightforward to do, and if you get a double axe, it's 42% straight off the bat, which is fantastic. And again, really easy to use. Very fast character. So yeah, Nightwolf is definitely going to be my fourth pick. And again, a character I use quite regularly. I do struggle with him though against female ninjas. The female ninjas seem to be a fantastic counter to Nightwolf, particularly like Katana and Melina. There's a couple of players that I play against regularly who have basically nullified my Nightwolf, so I've had to resort to other characters. Yeah, but Nightwolf is a very high tier character for me, and someone I use quite regularly. Probably the top tier character I use, in the game. So after Nightwolf, I think Reptile. So Reptile is the 5th best character in the game. Reptile is an interesting character. He feels sometimes sluggish when you're playing him in a neutral, but once you start adding in his reverse elbow or his reverse dash, whatever they call it, reverse elbow, I think it's called. Some people used to call it like the running serpent or something. But anyway, when you start adding that into it, it changes his dynamics very, very quickly. He's got amazing potential. He's one of the top characters that's got an infinite. I can't do it. I've tried. I'm not fast enough yet. I think I can get one juggle. So one juggle, reverse juggle, and that's the best I can do. I've got to watch MGOs and Nico Ark's tutorials again on how to do it, and learn to become a bit better with Reptile. But I definitely think Reptile is the 5th best character in the game. His invisibility is his greatest asset. I think the best tip anyone ever gave me was when I started playing as Reptile was go invisible as much as you can, and it definitely works. So highly recommend Reptile. He's a top character for me, and I do enjoy playing as him. I don't really play with him much anymore, just because I'm focusing on different characters at the moment. But I do still enjoy playing Reptile when I do play as him. So now I'm going to talk about probably my main at the moment, my main character, which I've been using quite a lot lately, and you've probably noticed that if you've watched any of my recent fights. But Sindel is my 6th pick in the list. One of the fighters who's definitely helped me get better at the game, Random Select Please or Goku Ren, he said to me, use Sindel as a counter to male ninjas, and boy was he right. Sindel is a fantastic character. She's fast. She's got a fantastic launching combo, which is so easy to do. and it's an instant 40% plus damage. A couple of downsides with her, like her projectile, her blast, her mouth blast, whatever you call it, is a pretty bad move. It's slow to recover, but her scream is fantastic if you use it well. People who obviously are very good at blocking and countering that can overcome that pretty quickly, but I still use her scream quite regularly. I've used it to absolute great effect in some of my matches online, and absolutely crazy damage potential. She's fun as well, fun to use. Just for her small hitbox, she's got a great punch. I think her actual punch and throw range is really good. Some people say her high punch is actually really good too, but I actually quite enjoy using her low punch, run jabbing with her, and again, her throw range is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Really enjoy using her, and I've had some great fun battles with her, and particularly like No Slap. No Slap is another great fighter I enjoy battling, and he's obviously fantastic with Sindel, and I really enjoy having a battle with him, doing a mirror match. So yeah, shout out to you, No Slap. So Sindel is my main, and she is my sixth pick in the list. So now we're going to start moving into probably a bit of controversy, like where after the the characters are. Now the next character I'm going to choose, I don't use very often at all, and someone I'm not very good at, but I still think is probably deserving of this spot, and that's Robot Smoke. Now, some people will say no chance. Robot Smoke is not an A tier character or nowhere near the top, but there's a reason why a lot of people do use Robot Smoke. He's got very easy damage. Again, 40% plus, very straightforward. He can go invisible. He's very fast as well at going invisible. He's got a launcher, and his spear is obviously fantastic as well. Again, I'm not really a huge fan of the cyborgs, like the robots. I don't use them a lot, and I probably need to, but especially Robot Smoke. But there's a lot of people who use them online. There's a couple of people who only use Smoke and Robot Smoke, and they've had some big wins. His air throw is brilliant. His normal throw is brilliant as well, and he's got a really straightforward combo that's just not hard to do. But yeah, I think he is probably the seventh best character in the game, in my opinion. Now, this is probably where I could flip this character, swap between Smoke and Kitana, but obviously Kitana I still think is the best female ninja in the game. I think she's definitely deserving of an A tier spot. Kitana's an interesting character. Like I do use her occasionally. She has some quirky movesets to her. Like she has like a damage reduction when she uses her fan. Her fan lift, I should say, not her actual throwing fan. I don't use that, basically. It's like the most useless move in this game, I think. Because I think, like, yeah, the most damage you can get is like 20% or something like that. But yeah, I very rarely ever use that fan lift. But she's fast. Her leg throw is absolutely amazing. Combo wise, I mean, yeah, she's kind of limited, but she can do like a 35% jump in 5 hits, like fan combo hit, which is good. Her kick combo, I think it's like 23%, but it's fast, and that's one thing you can really pressure your opponent in the corner with that. And obviously her fan throw is fantastic, great for maintaining that distance and that zoning as well. She's kind of like a hybrid character, like a rush down and a zoner. So I really enjoy that. I'm not very good with obviously Kitana, but yeah, I still like her character. So I'm putting her as below Smoke. Now the next character, again, probably a bit of controversy here. Some people will argue and disagree, but I'm going to go with what I feel, and I think that's Sonya. Now Sonya is an interesting character because I never really used Sonya a lot at all when I started playing on Fightcade, but just recently I've started using her, and she is so much fun to use. Her combos is pretty straightforward to do. She's fun, like she's fast. She's got a fantastic sweep. Her throw range and sweep range is just amazing. and she's got a fantastic launcher combo as well that can, do 40+% very, very easily. Even in neutral, I think it's like 39% if you do her main combo, jump kick, and then leg grab. Really enjoy Sonya. Great character. I think she is deserving of an A tier spot. Some people will say, no, she's B tier for sure. Again, that's fine. This is a casual's perspective, so feel free to comment if you don't agree, or comment if you do agree. Thanks. So next, I think Kung Lao. Now, Kung Lao is another great character in my view. I'm learning him at the moment. I've seen some absolutely fantastic players online use Kung Lao again to incredible potential as well. His combo is, it's not too hard to do as long as you start working out the button combos pretty quickly. But he can do I think it's like 45% from a teleport into his main 7-hit combo, which is awesome. So yeah, two of those in a row, and you've basically taken out your opponent, which is great. He's obviously got an infinite as well. His corner spin, hat spin into jump kick as well. The most I've ever done online in a match is 3. I have done a full 100% in training, but it's hard to get the timing perfect in my opinion. But I'm learning him at the moment, so I'm really looking forward to getting him down pat. I have heard in the WaveNet version, I believe they're going to limit his infinite to 3 hits, and then won't work anymore, which is a shame because that's part of the quirks of the game, right? Is doing an infinite like that. But anyway, I enjoy him. I think he's I think he's a great character too. Now, my last character for A tier, and some people might not agree, some people may agree, but I think Jax. Now, Jax is a funny character. I'm hopeless at Jax. For the life of me, I can't get his main combo very well at all. I've tried and tried and tried, and I get it like 1 out of 10 attempts. I just seem to struggle using his combo with a block in between. I don't know what it is, just my brain doesn't seem to work very well, but there's some brilliant Jax players out there. There's an Australian player who is just amazing with Jax, and saw him just absolutely annihilate everyone with his Jax. So yeah, I think he's definitely deserving of it. Even though he's got probably one of the biggest hitboxes in the game, his rush down is amazing. His jab pressure. He's got so many different tools under his belt, like his ground slam, his dash punch, his grab. He can obviously throw you four times for 25% damage. Big combo damage as well, like 37% from a neutral. He's a great character, and I think he's deserving of that final A tier spot. So in B tier now. Again, this is hard, this one, because I've got a few characters here that I would move around. But I'm probably going to go with Kano as being my top B tier. Now, Kano is a funny character because he's got so much potential. He's also got a fair few weaknesses as well. But he's a fun character to use. I love playing as Kano, even though I'm not very good at him. But I enjoy playing as him. I've seen some phenomenal players like Outworld Warrior. Yeah, shout out to Outworld Warrior as well. He's got one of the best Kanos in the game. Love watching him play online with Kano. I enjoy seeing his cannonball, his grab combos. He's got obviously an air throw as well, which is very powerful. So really enjoy Kano. I think he's deserving of top B, to be honest, if you ask me. Next, I will probably put Scorpion. Now, again, this is an interesting one because Scorpion, you could argue, is better than Kano in multiple ways, and I agree. There's definitely things that Scorpion has got that is better, like his teleport. His air throw is probably better as well. But Scorpion lacks big damage from his combos. Like his main combo, I think, is 27%, and if you can do it if you do a launching into it, like an air jump into it, it's like 32%, which is pretty crap. He does not have many tools under his belt. I mean, there's some players that are brilliant with Scorpion that can get phenomenal combos out of him, like multiple spears, launching spear combos. Like, that's just absolutely awesome to see. But yeah, I still think he's a good character, but if you were going to compare him to Human Smoke, like, it's chalk and cheese. There's no comparison between the two of them, even though their characters are basically exactly the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you were going to pick the two of them, you would never pick Scorpion over Human Smoke. That's just lunacy. But yeah, I still think he's a good character, but he's definitely nowhere near the top in any stretch of means. So we're into the final stretch now, really, in the tier list. Now, my next character, and you can swap these around one way or another, but from my perspective, I think it's unmasked sub and then it's classic sub. I think those two, you could interchange them. The reason why I probably put unmasked sub first is he's got an ice clone, which is brilliant against rushdown players. Um, he's got obviously multiple different versions of his, ice shower. He can go forwards, neutral, reverse. He's obviously got his normal ice shot as well. His combos suck a bit. Like, his main combo is like, what, 23%, I think it is. If you jump into it, it's 32% or something. But he's fast, and that's what I love about Unmasked Sub. He's a fast character. He's a great zoner, and I've seen him used to awesome effect against multiple players. And there's a few people that I watch regularly online, like Grim423, Nintendo. Those guys have got arguably like some of the best unmasked subs I've ever seen in my life. Really enjoy watching them play, and watching them use unmasked sub. I'm not very good with him. I'll use him occasionally. I might morph from Shang into him occasionally. I might pick him up as a random, but something I don't really use a lot. And I probably should, to be honest, because he is a fun and a very good character to use. Which then leads into classic sub. Now, classic sub's an interesting one, right? Because I think he's got awesome potential. He's got a relaunch that can be done pretty easily as well, from what I know. I've never personally done it, but I've seen multiple people relaunch with classic sub. He's got good damage. Like, he can do 45% damage from his jump in combo. His pressure punch into ground freeze is amazing to watch. His slide is super fast, which is awesome, and you can use it actually as like an evasive tool as well, not just from doing damage, but to get out of that area. But he just lacks more moves, and I wouldn't rank him probably anything higher than mid B, to be honest, in my opinion. Great character, but not someone I would use personally. I do use him occasionally when I'm more from Shang into him, just to do like the ground freeze and the combo, but that's probably about it. So my final character for B tier, and there's going to be probably a few people who will argue this and say that this person is definitely an A tier or higher, and be with it as you may, but I don't agree with this character being anything better than probably end of B tier, and that's Melina. Now, there's some players that are absolutely phenomenal with Melina, like Detroit Ball and Ali, amazing Melina players, Freeze and so on and so forth, right? But I don't think Melina is anything more deserving than a B tier, in my opinion. Her damage is average. Her moves are not easy to do. She's easily punishable on when you block her spin roll, her barrel roll. You can easily counter her air jump kick as well. But yeah, look, that's just my opinion. Look, she's a great character I still like to play. Like, she's fun, but I don't use her very often at all, to be honest. Like, I've used her a few times, and I just can't enjoy playing with her in a competitive match. Like, for a fun match, absolutely, she's fun to play. But from a competitive match, I don't have fun playing with her, just because it's just hard to control her, and I don't get many wins with her. So moving into C tier now, there's going to be quite a few of my characters that I use in this list, and again, some people argue vehemently that this is not even near where this character should be, but that's fine. But I still think personally Shang is the best C tier character in the game. Now, some people will say Shang is an S tier character. Some people will say he's an A tier character, or below D tier. Maybe even F tier. That's fine. I think Shang is an interesting character. Like, from a like from a pre-morph mode, he's slow, he's sluggish, but he's fun, and he's just a challenging character to play with. He lacks big combos. His main 5 hit combo is 27%. Um, his projectile is pretty shit. His single to triple projectile is pretty average. He's got obviously an infinite with his volcanic eruption, which is really hard to do. But once you get it down pat, it's very workable. I've been practicing it on offline, and I've got it a few times now. And yeah, again, shout out to Goku Ren for sending me the inputs and how to do it. Um, but yeah, Shang's a fun character. He's one of the characters I use a lot, probably to my own detriment from losing a lot of matches with him. But that's fine. Like, I play for fun. I don't play for the competitive sake. But I really enjoy playing as Shang. I think he's a flashy character. Getting a big combo, morph, extending that combo out. And there's some fantastic Shang players out there, like Not Random, probably one of the best Shangs in the game. Ali, obviously one of the best Shangs in the game too. Seeing those guys just work their magic with Shang is just mesmerizing. But I enjoy him. I use him regularly. Have some great battles with him and have fun. That's what it's all about. So I'll put Shang top of C in my opinion. After Shang, I'll put Striker. Now, Striker I use occasionally. I do still like using him, not from a competitive sense, just because he does lack a lot of good things. Like he's got, he can't run jab. His hitbox is very strange in this game. Like he can't run jab anyone, I don't think. But also he can't be run jab too because of his weird hitbox. But yeah, he's an interesting character. He's got a lot of weaknesses, but he's also got some incredible strengths as well. Like his infinite is pretty easy to do. He's the only character I can do the infinite with consistently, whilst I don't get it all the time, obviously. But I've had multiple games where I've had multiple infinites with him, or at least from corner to corner anyway. Yeah, his gun's good. It's fast. He's like bat and throw is very punishable. But yeah, he's got a good launcher. His throw's okay. That bat and sweep thing, don't even try it. It's negative on hit and leaves you open for a big punishment. The only time I'll ever use that is if I know if I'm playing against like a female ninja, like Katana, for example, when she'll use an air throw, it's perfect for that. Because you're guaranteed to get a hit. But besides that, like, I really don't use that move at all for anything. And again, someone like Striker I don't use all that often, but still a fun character to use though. He's got potential, but yeah, he's definitely nowhere near top of the list. And then the next character for me is Jade. Now, Jade is arguably the weakest of the female ninjas, in my opinion, but some people would rate Jade far higher, and I've seen some brilliant Jade players. Like, No Doubt is arguably one of the best Jade players in the game, and she's fun to use as well. And I've been using her a bit lately, actually. Very weak damage. Like, her main 7-hit combo is like 27%, which is just pathetic. It should be well over 30% if you ask me. I don't even really do her main 7-hit combo. I'll just do her jump in 4-hit and then sweep to get 32%. So it's much easier to do that way. But anyway, Jade, fun character. Some really good quirks about her. She's fun. She's fast. Great rush down. So yeah, that's one I'll use. So after that, I'll be probably moving towards like getting into the D tiers, shortly. So D tiers for me is going to be a funny one, but I'll just round out these C tiers before we finish off here. So my next one after Jade is probably going to be Liu Kang. Now, Liu is an interesting character because he has so many weapons available, but his damage is terrible. He seems to have like like some kind of ability with him to just neutralize his damage potential. And like, I think his main 7-hit combo is like 25% or something, which is just insane. But yeah, he's fun. He's fast. I'm terrible with him. I'm just gonna be open and honest and say that I'm absolutely terrible with him. But yeah, he's an interesting character. I've seen some great characters like Outworld Warrior. He's a brilliant Liu Kang player, and fun seeing him absolutely dominate with him. But yeah, he'll round out that. Um, so actually, I've got one more C tier, I should say, which is going to be another interesting one, right? Because I would argue that this character is probably lower, but still has some potential, and there's some people who can use this character to absolute amazing effect, and that's Cyrax. Um, I would put Cyrax in D tier, but Cyrax has an infinite, which is incredibly hard to do. Um, but he can be a fun character to use as well. Like his projectile is very slow. Um, you have to do it obviously, moderate to close proximity. Otherwise, it's just not going to hit. Um, but he's a fun character to use if you get him right. Yeah, I don't personally like using Cyrax, to be honest. I think he's a slow, sluggish character. He's always open for damage. But when you see the people like No Slap who could just absolutely dominate with him, it's fun to watch. And his corner infinite is so fun in my humble opinion. Some people think it's cheating. Good on you. That's fine. It takes a lot of skill to do that move, um, and people who can pull it off have to get that timing down pat. So um, yeah, he's probably the best of the worst in my humble opinion, really, when you think about it. Um, so last two characters, and this is where people are going to argue with me, and that's fine. I've got my opinions with D tier, with Sector and Shiva being the last two. Now, Shiva for me is the second worst character in the game. Now, reasons. Now, Shiva has got the highest damage, the standard damage combo in the game. Like her main 7-hit combo is 42%. Very easy to do as well. High pitch, high punch, low punch, high kick, low kick. I think it is. It's pretty pretty easy to do, um, and that does huge damage. And if you do a jump in, I think it's like 52%, which is just huge. Now, Shiva has got the biggest hitbox in the game. She can corner trap her, but she's got some potential still. And there's some players out there, like again, like No Doubt, really a lot of potential with her, um, and can do some really good stuff. Do I think she's good? Personally, no. I think she's fun. Like she's fun to play with. Her throw's really good. I think she's got a really good throw actually. Her launch is good. Like her stomp, I should say, launching stomp. That's fun to do. But again, it's all about timing with her and getting that timing down pat. But yeah, I think she's fun to play with, but she's not a good character in my humble opinion. And then that leads me to the final character in the game, which is Sector. Now, Sector, in my opinion, I think is the worst character in the game. Now, reasons. He's got an absolute terrible main combo. I think his kick combo is 2 hits, I think it is. Um, he does have some interesting quirks about him, like his homing missiles are incredibly good if you get the timing right. He can obviously counter the invisible players like Reptile and Smoke because it locks onto them even though when they're invisible, so you know exactly where they are. His normal rocket shoots quite fast. Obviously, we don't get the double rocket like you get in Trilogy, but there's some stuff with him that can be good, and there are some really good Sector players out there, like Ketchup. Ketchup's probably going to watch this video and tell me I'm an absolute idiot. He's probably A tier, and that's fine. But look, he has got a lot of weaknesses as well, and he's arguably the worst cyborg / robot in the game. I don't use Sector at all. I just doesn't interest me. But that's my tier list from S tier to D tier. And just to recap, this is from a casuals perspective, and I'm not saying that my list is right by any stretch of means, but I think from my humble perspective, being relatively new to the game, that's what I feel, and I will come back and revisit this list once Legacy Collection comes out and see what changes potentially need to be made, if there is going to be any. Um, but I think that's for me is a balanced tier list. And again, I could move a couple of these ones around. Like I could move, Kano and Scorpion around. I could potentially move, Unmasked Sub up a little bit. I could also move Kitana, Kitana up as well. Um, but yeah, if I look at this is what I feel is a fairly reasonable casuals list. And again, from the characters that I use as well, I might have a differing opinion as well. But yeah, I don't obviously use many more characters at the moment than yes, Sindel, Nightwolf, Shang, Jade. Um, there's probably my four, and probably Sonya. So there's probably my five. There's my five I would regularly use. Um, and I'm starting to learn Kung Lao at the moment. Um, I'm playing obviously with Unmasked Sub a little bit. Kano I play with occasionally, and Reptile. There's probably my others that I'll be using. Um, but anyway, that's my casuals tier list, and I appreciate everyone jumping in and watching this. Um, Please feel free to comment if there's any comments that you've got. Um, I'm keen to hear from you, and yeah, definitely keen to see what you think about the list, and where you would rate rank any of these other ones as well. But thanks for celebrating 200 subscribers. Again, we've just hit 250 in the channel, which is awesome. Hopefully, we can get to that 500 milestone, the next 6 to 12 months, and we'll do a 500 sub special next time. But thanks so much, everyone, and all the best. I'll catch you in the next one.